The two-handed hip drop is a fundamental piece of core training that's instrumental in all of your get-ups. Getting up off the ground is a fundamental human movement. It's the basis of a ton of athletics, and you should be really, really good at it. You do not have to engage in any type of martial sports in order to practice this. Everybody should do this exercise, especially if you have some type of back pain. By starting slow and working on the range of movement with two hands down and building up over time, you will make your core work the way that it should. We're gonna walk our way through a two-handed hip drop, then we're gonna talk about some evolutions of the movement, then we're gonna talk about the overall end goal. All core movements are most likely part of either an aerial family of movements or a get-up family of movements. The most important get-ups you can do are the Turkish get-up, getting up off of the ground with weight in your hand, Krav get-ups, a defensive get-up, or technical stand-ups, judo get-ups if you practice some type of wrestling. The two-handed hip drop keeps two hands on the ground the entire time. Two hands on the ground, we're gonna put our feet close to our hands, lift our knees up off of the ground. The fundamental coaching cue on this is step, step. It makes more sense after the first rep. For the first rep, rotate, put your foot flat on the ground, sit your hip all the way down on the ground, drive into the ground with the opposite shoulder. We're gonna keep two hands on the ground because it's going to force us to move our spine through the full range of movement. Two hands down is difficult for most people to achieve this range of movement. Coaching cue, step, 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 touch the hip all the way down, step, step, touch the hip all the way down, step, step, touch the hip all the way down. Our goal for this exercise is to get to approximately 1 rep per second. If you're doing a 20-second set, you should be doing minimum 20 reps. In the beginning, people will more likely be at about 12 reps per 20 seconds. Whatever your number is, your goal is to get to at least 20 and then approach 24 reps in 20 seconds. If you're doing a 50-second set, your goal is 50 reps in 50 seconds. The two-hand hip drop requires the most spinal movement. Every time you lift your hip up, your core is trying to engage. Most people are not good at this, so they will start slow and they will feel it a lot in the beginning. The two-hand hip drop evolves into the one-hand hip drop where our spine stays straighter. Speed goals are the same. Touch, touch, hand up, touch, touch, hand up, touch, touch, hand up. The sit-through hip, the bent leg version, turns into a sit-through leg. Two hands all the way down, rear foot flat, base of support. You will recognize this from Turkish get-ups. Sit through leg, two hands all the way down, focus on the movement of your spine. That evolves into the one hand sit through leg, other hand coming up to a martial block position. Depending on what martial art you do, will determine these hand positions. Lift the hip, touch, step, 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 step. These are all part of what we consider a defensive get-up. In a martial situation or in a martial sport, you end up on the ground, getting up, hand, foot all the way on the ground, transfer all the way through so you can orient forward so that you can re-engage in the fight. If you're practicing something like judo and instead of moving back to engage in striking, you might be doing a technical stand-up where you are going to get up in the exact same position. But this hip lifting piece is the hard part for most people. If you're coming from a conventional gym training background, the two-handed hip drop is your first piece in replacing the Russian twist. Russian twist, a classic exercise that everybody should train. 45 degrees back of the spine, using a weight and rotating it from side to side. Same general idea, training the core to absorb and redirect force with rotation, but instead of just doing a Russian twist, we're practicing the fundamental piece of all of our get-ups so that we can get up quickly and effectively. One of the fundamental things that your core is for is to help you get up off of the ground. Sit-ups are part of a get-up. Hip drops are part of a get-up. Everything in core training is probably part of some type of get up, get over, or get on top of. No matter what program you're doing, if you're doing anything with rotation, plug this in and try it out.